What you can do with no code in 5 minutes. Let's walk through creating an application with several pages and a graph. Alright, so let's create a new application using Excelio today. First, we can go to Excelio and log in using our Google accounts. Once we logged in, we can go to the launcher on our home page and click New App to make our new application. We can create a label, a description, a URL, and then we choose from the icons, categories, tiers, and access levels are available on Excelio, and we can click Create. Alright, now that we created our application, let's go to the model page and click New Entity. We'll put a name for our entity and then load our data. We can pull the data from the drive or from the computer directly, but let's do URL for today. We know that this file has comma-separated values with 6 columns, and we have the option to give them names, so let's go ahead and do that. For each name, we can also specify the data type. For example, the timestamp will be date time, the name will be text, the code will be number, and the rest are currency. For the date time data type that we specified, we can also provide a date format and a time zone offset. So here, our date format is month, day, year, and our time zone offset is 5. Once we create this entity, we can go to the design page of our application and create a new block to show the data that we got. Just like how we did when creating our application, we can enter a label and choose an entity and component and type for our design block. For our component and our type, we're going to do table and data respectively. Now let's see what we get when we run our application. We have all the data in a table. There's over 13,000 rows, and we can scroll through all the rows and go to last or first in order to get the one that we need. We can further sort this from the cost in ascending or descending. And we can also search on any column. Because we specified the data type, we can validate our data and update it. We can also add new information to join our table. Alright, now let's create a new page and add a chart using the same data. Our entity will be the same, and we can just copy and paste the page and change the label and the page URL. Once we refresh, we will be able to see that each page has a different URL. For our new page, we have to change our block to an aggregate type. Once we do this, we should also hide the fields that we don't want to show up in our graph and set the aggregator to average for some of our fields so that we can get the average in our graph. And now we're ready to create our graph. We'll change the component on our block from table to column chart, and it becomes a graph like how we wanted. We can view the graph like this, or we can also view the table for the graph if we scroll down. To share our application with somebody from our Google Contacts list, we go to the Share page on Excelio, click New User, and choose someone from our contacts as well as their role. Once we click Create, the user that we wish to share our application with should get it. Instead of sharing with each person individually, we can also go to the design page and modify our access level so that anybody with a URL can view our application. And there you have it. We created an application with several pages and a graph.